Alright, hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another KonoSuba Fantastic Days video. Now, about a week ago, I made a poll over on my YouTube channel asking you guys what you have thought of the game so far. So I waited about a week or so. It's now been 2 weeks since the official global version has released, and we'll take a look at that poll and see what you guys' thoughts is on the brand new KonoSuba mobile game. Alright, so here is my poll over on my YouTube channel. As you can see, over 1.4 thousand of you guys ended up voting on this. So thank you all to people who ended up voting. So here I asked, how would you all rate KonoSuba Fantastic Days so far? So we had over 17% people say amazing, 47%, almost half the people said good, 26% said average, 5% said below, and 5% said bad. So if I were to give this a grade scaling, I obviously would go F, D, C, B, and then A. So the game overall got a B from most of the fan base, I'd assume, most of the player base. So that is honestly pretty solid. So I feel like the devs should really pat themselves on the back for this one. I mean, having a game have a good or an average release, honestly, is way better than a below average or a bad release, because a lot of the mobile games usually end up having a below average or bad release. A few of them, unless you're like a super popular title like a Dragon Ball or a Hunter x Hunter or One Piece title. The games obviously have much more production value in it, so they're going to perform better. But I still think this game, definitely getting a good from the community, should be a definite thumbs up. So 90% of the people ended up saying that the game was average or above. So 10% said it was below average or bad. 90% said it was above average or average. So I feel like that is pretty good. So I'm honestly surprised. I thought a lot more people would end up saying average rather than good. But I still feel like, you know, the game does end up deserving a good. There's a lot of aspects about the game that I do enjoy. For example, the super attack or the attack animations, the ultimate attacks. Those animations look insane. The card arts are very, very nice. The summoning animations are nice. The summons are super expensive, though. Don't get me wrong. The summoning is very expensive. The pity system could be better. There's a lot of criticisms I have about it. The gameplay, besides of the ultimates, is a little stale and boring. But it obviously can still get fixed over time, as this game has just came out. So there's a lot of fixes they could do to the game. They can always update the game over the time down the road whenever they want it, right? So let's go ahead and read some of the comments that people have been saying about the game. So here we have this comment says, I'm not really digging the combat, but it's a decent game so far. It's like a slower, crappier version of Princess Connect Redive. Kind of weird that it seems so similar, actually. So if you guys don't know what Princess Connect Redive is, it is the other videos that I make on my channel. So if you're only here for KonoSuba, it's the other video game that I do make on my channel. There's also going to be another gacha game. So a lot of people do compare KonoSuba to Princess Connect because their gameplay is very, very similar. But I do have to agree, it is kind of like a slower version of Princess Connect Redive's gameplay. I feel like Princess Connect Redive's gameplay is like super, super top tier kind of 2D mobile game, gacha game kind of gameplay. So Princess Connect definitely has a super high standard. So even though it is a slower and crappier version of Princess Connect, I can agree that I feel like it's slower. I don't feel like it's like worse though. It's not much worse. It is not as good, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's much worse to the point of bad. It is a slower version of Princess Connect. The gameplay is definitely way slower. The animations, I feel like on KonoSuba are semi-better, but obviously Princess Connect Redive gets way better. The animations step their game up a lot, especially as further time goes down. The animations right now for like new characters that release in Princess Connect Redive is like anime level, which is awesome. Obviously, KonoSuba's ultimate skills also look very, very anime-like. So, I mean, gameplay-wise, I can agree. I definitely can agree with this comment. Story is really good. Seems like I'm watching the anime itself. That is very agreeable. Same thing with Princess Connect. There's also anime cutscenes inside of the game that is exclusive to the game, which I find to be very, very cool. It's got my wife Aqua, and I love KonoSuba. Later, it gets my waifu Amelia, and I love ReZero. I'm enjoying it so far. I personally think it's a well-done game. I like how if you're smart, you can still rank gold or higher relatively easily in Arena, even if it means filling up on some 2 and 3 stars. And the animations are pretty, and they've been generous so far with giveaways, which will obviously die down. Yes, I do agree with that. The giveaways will definitely way go down, especially after about a month or so from the game being released. The pity is averaging could be better. I do agree with that 100%. The game needs some QOL improvements, and they need to flush out some issues with people hacking Arena, lag, crashes, not working for people, etc. So I do agree with that. There's also some errors that have been going on inside of the game where some people could actually not get into the game at all, which is obviously very, very bad. You want people to be able to play your game or they're going to leave. So I feel like that is definitely something that they should end up trying to fix. I don't know if they fixed it right now because I never got that error code, but if they have, or they're at least working on it, that should be much, much better so people can actually play the game. It's pretty normal for games to experience these kind of issues on launch, so I'm not too surprised, but they do need to get on top of it. And thus far, I would give it a 4 out of 5 for a gacha. So that, honestly, I feel like is definitely agreeable. This is probably one of the best comments that I've seen about the game. It kind of sums up pretty much everything about the game. The pay system, obviously the animations, the gameplay overall. So I feel like this is a great comment, so thank you for your comment for sake. Alright, this person says below average, it just feels like a worse, less free-to-play friendly Princess Connect with some nifty KonoSuba themed gimmicks. Honestly, I feel like I can agree with that. Princess Connect Redive is very, very, very free-to-play friendly. The best thing about it so far is the reroll process, and even though it still took forever to get a good reroll, clearly hinting that the rates aren't that great, which sucks when the game actually uses a dupe system, unlike Princess Connect. I do have to agree, the rates are not the greatest. Princess Connect, I feel like, has much better rates, as well as a much, much better system of dupes. So for Princess Connect, the dupes are non-valuable. So if you pull a dupe of a character, you're not going to be buffing up their skills or nothing. It's just going to be extra coins that you can use in the shop to further upgrade your character to have them go to 3 stars, 4 stars, or 5 stars. For KonoSuba, it's the exact opposite, and it's going to be buffing up your skills, which will buff up your damage in turn. So I feel like it's like the same system overall, but I feel like Princess Connect's system is much superior to where you're actually like, you know, you can use it on any character. Like if you pull a dupe of, I don't know, a Christina or a Kiori, you can use that dupe for a different character like Makoto or something like that, right? So you can use a character who you already have fully maxed out, and you could use that to upgrade a character who you do not have maxed out at all. So that is what an advantage of having in Princess Connect. So I definitely can agree that the gacha rates aren't that great. I do agree with that. You do have to be lucky to actually see at least 2 or 3. If you get 2 or 3, like multiple 4 stars in a summon, that is like a worthy of video title. And speaking of having multiple video summons in a title, I did end up doing that. So if you guys want to check that out, that's going to be in my KonoSuba Fantastic Days playlist. I had some fire luck in a video, but I do agree that the rates aren't that great because it does take a while to get a solid roll. I wouldn't say the game is below average. I would say the game is good. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. But this guy definitely knows what he's talking about the race and stuff. So thank you for your comment. As a game, it's just average to me. KonoSuba characters are the only thing that makes me return to it at the moment. Maybe the game will get better or worse. We'll see. I mean, I can kind of agree with that. KonoSuba characters are pretty much the main aspect of why you'd be attracted to this game. It's just because of the franchise title of it being a KonoSuba mobile game. That is probably why a lot of people have ended up turning up to the game and trying to play it. So here are some comments about the bug 80001. So 80,001 bug. I can't even get into the game. So yes, this is still a problem. It probably has been fixed by now. It's been about a week or so since this problem has came out. Maybe they have fixed it, maybe they have not. I'm not too sure on that, but hopefully they have fixed this 80,001 bug by now. I say good because the combat is not that great. If the combat was as good as Princess Connect, it would have been amazing. So I can see a lot of people are comparing this game to Princess Connect Redive, which is honestly pretty agreeable because the game is, they're almost exactly identical. So I can see all the comparisons to Princess Connect. The game's cool and all, love the anime, but the game is gets boring real fast. Plus, about to stop playing mobile games to go for PC and console mobile games. Die too quick for me, but whoever loves them, enjoy them. So honestly, this is also a very solid comment coming from just kind of any kind of gamer aspect. So if this is you and you think, you know, the game is boring and then you're about to stop playing mobile games, go for PC because they die too quick, I don't think mobile games, there's a lot of the good examples of mobile games that don't die. For example, Clash of Clans, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, those games have been out for over like 6+ years, and they still have been just as popular as ever, especially Dokkan Battle. That game is still going like full force fire mode. So I don't know. I feel like this could be agreeable. A lot of mobile games end up dying. There's also a lot of special ones that end up staying around. But if you honestly, yeah, so if you enjoy mobile games, keep playing them. I feel like that's a very, very agreeable statement. And we have the last comment says, I'm not enjoying it. Feels really pay to win right from the start. Not being able to start up a character is really bad, and using a duplicate to upgrade skills for the weak characters doesn't make that much of a change. So you really need those 4 stars. And if you don't have the jewels or the left for it, you're in bad sheets. So I guess I can agree with this, that the game does feel pretty pay to win. I definitely can agree because obviously the more characters you pull of a dupe, the stronger the character does end up getting. So it can be pay to win, especially because there is PvP in the game. So I definitely can agree with this. Once again, thank you to all the people who ended up voting on this poll. Over 1.4 thousand votes. This is my biggest vote end up turnout that we had. So thank you to everyone who did end up voting on this poll. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.